A lot of people think there's like a guide to social media and like they tell you what works and what doesn't work and what algorithm works. But bro, you have to figure it out like yourself. Like when I started the business, it's like all of it is data and patterns that you have to analyze. And you look at people online, like the gurus, social media gurus, they're just telling you from their experience and what they've seen. There's no playbook on how all this shit works. You just need to get known for something. As long as it's like it protects your brand, you're not known as a dickhead. Easiest way to build a personal brand is go start your own podcast, interview experts, interview people in your field. If they're giving a bunch of free value and you interview that many people and you can clip up like 30 clips in like one click using AI now, then people are going to start to get to know you. And then the more known you are, you don't have to be so strategic on how to go viral. This is how my sales calls go all the time. We're not on social media, but we know we need to be on it. So that's why we're here. So these are people who have never been on camera before. So I've trained up my whole team, like all the videographers. I train them how to make the client feel comfortable on camera and how to bring out their personality. Once they see the edit, they're like, wow, you cut all the ums and ers and it's so polished. And then that brings confidence in them as well. Like you think of Elon Musk, you think of Tesla, you think of Steve Jobs, you think of Apple. So they've been doing it for years and only now normal Australian business owners are jumping on it. If you were to build your business brand, it's a lot harder to build trust and to get sales doing it straight from a business because people buy from people, not businesses now.
Today on the Connect podcast, we're joined by Nicholas Remondos, a Sydney-based content strategist, creative director, and the man behind some of Australia's most viral social media content. From filmmaking beginnings to helping creators, entrepreneurs, and brands build massive attention online, Nick has built a reputation for understanding not just how content works, but why people pay attention in the first place. He's worked behind the scenes with some of the country's biggest creators, helping turn videos into influence into business, and personal brands into powerful online assets. In today's episode, we're going to dive into the psychology of viral content, the future of social media, personal branding, attention in the digital age, and what it takes to stand out online today. Please welcome Nick Remondos to the Connect podcast.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Mates, I'm excited to jump into this one. This was a back of mind thought for a while around personal branding and social media, and I'm actually really, really excited to jump into a few questions. But before we jump into the nitty-gritty of what makes us pop online, tell us about you, Nick. Where did it all start from?
Where did it all start? So I come from humble beginnings, not like crazy humble beginnings where I had to sell myself to like make money or something like that. But basically, yeah, just normal middle class family. Never really had money like at school, and that's where everything all started, right? I remember I used to always bring these shitty sandwiches to school while all the canteen kids would bring like money and always buy stuff for the canteen.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah, bro. And now we're killing it. Now we're here. And then as soon on my 14th birthday, I actually applied to work at McDonald's and got the job. And then from there, we've just been straight hustling. I wasn't very good in school at all. I hated school. Like people always say, oh, like I wish I could go back to school. You know, this is the good old times, but you don't remember the shit times at school.
Yeah.
Like school's the worst. Like all the teachers getting in trouble. I was always in trouble. I was like, I hate getting in trouble. Anyway, after school, I was like, I have to prove everyone wrong, you know? So I did diploma of filmmaking. I actually got my diploma in 6 months at a college called SAE. And then from there, got the diploma, applied for a couple of jobs and didn't get them. And I was like, oh, so uni is bullshit.
Yeah.
So then I just went to go work at warehouses. Like I've worked at every warehouse, like Australian Post, TNT, DHL, all of them. And then started a DJing business. That was like my first step into entrepreneurship, and that was going really well. And then I became a Christian. And first thing God said to me was, I don't want you to be a part of this surroundings anymore, you know, around alcohol and music. So I stopped doing that. And then I was stuck at the warehouse until I applied to work for a job with Jamie Zhu.
Yeah.
And I was his videographer and he hired me on the spot and we took over the world, bro. Like we traveled everywhere, all around Australia, all around the world, the most dangerous places, filming documentaries there. And yeah, we achieved a lot that we wanted to achieve. And then I think it was the 3-year mark. I was like, now I need to start building my own dreams. And I started working with LA Donuts as a freelance client. Got her really good results. And then from there, people started to reach out, hey, can you do my socials? And I realized all these entrepreneurs wanted to build a personal brand. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a crack. And I found out to be really good at it and then started getting my own agency. And now we're here.
Now we're here, my friend. Let's talk about Jamie Zhu. That's a pretty cool, that would have been a really cool gig to play with.
Yeah.
So what did that start from, and what did it eventuate into?
So I just wanted to edit, bro, like edit videos. I was like, oh, imagine editing videos and getting paid for it. Like that's a dream, you know? So I started off being his editor, but then also his videographer at the same time. And that's when he was leaving the prank era and we're moving towards documentary. So I helped him with that pivot. And what happened, our first video we did on YouTube together was going to the most expensive area in Sydney, got on the news, and I was like, all right, that's a hit. So then he was like, all right, let's do the opposite. Let's go to the most dangerous area in Sydney. So I went to Mount Druitt, another hit. And then from there, bro, we just kept traveling the world. We did a tour of Australia.
Yeah.
We got on the news like so many times for all those videos, and it was just
So okay, well, around Australia, around the best experiences you've experienced with Jamie. I know there was obviously more people involved in Jamie's journey and all that sort of stuff. I want to hear the cool stuff.
Yeah. So, and then I think probably the coolest was when we went into the entrepreneurial space, content interviewing entrepreneurs. So going to Simon Beard's penthouse in the Gold Coast, like interviewing him. Nick Bell, he's on Shark Tank now.
Yeah.
I actually did an ice bath with him while we're filming content, and we're interviewing him. And then Davey, the Woody guy as well, went to his house in Adelaide. So Fogarty, yeah. So all these people I got to like film, and then just me and Jamie spending time with them, you just learn a lot about entrepreneurship and personal branding and levels of influence. And I took everything in. Like I was very quiet when I was around them, but everything they were saying and doing and how people reacted around them, I just always took in, especially hanging out with Jamie. Like he's getting stopped for photos all the time. And I just was trying to analyze everything. And I was like, what are they saying to him? How excited are they to see him? And then when Jamie would collab with other influencers, let's see how other people would react to them. Because Jamie's different. He built a brand on YouTube. And when you build a brand on YouTube, like you have more of like a cult and loyal audience because they're spending more time with you. They're spending like 10 minutes with you.
More longer form content.
That's right. And then on short form, you have all these TikTokers now, right? There's so many TikTokers and you're only spending like 30 seconds with them. And you realize that people look at influencers and TikTokers just like, oh, it's just another one of them. Like people are getting desensitized from it. That's why Spanian is like so powerful because he's built his brand on YouTube, you know, and the way that people act over him, and when they see him, like they just fan all over him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I feel like if I'm watching a long form content on YouTube, it's probably a few minutes in that I start thinking to myself, this guy's actually really, really cool. And then I'm a lot more invested in what the video is about. And then I'm more invested in who the person is as a person. And I'll just remind myself next time he posts another video, I enjoyed his last video, I'll probably watch his next one. And then we'll just become a progressive attachment to who this personal brand is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine how that would have worked out for Jamie. When he's out in the streets, how often does he actually get stopped?
Bro, like a lot. Like
what does a lot mean?
Not like swarms, but like here and there, people just come up to him. Like when I'm with him, it would have been like maybe like 12 people, you know, one after the other, getting photos with him and just saying, "Oh, where's your dad?" They would always say to him. Stuff like that. But then you see a lot of people like staring at him, and they're like, oh, and then there's that TikToker that would say stuff like that.
Right. What were the most successful videos you've created with Jamie?
Let's see. When we went to Bundaberg in Queensland, we called it Australia's rudest city. I think that got like 10 million views on Facebook. And that did really well. But then there was another one, probably my most proudest one we've done was going to the incest town in New South Wales, which was Balrora, I think it's called.
Yeah. Say that again.
Balrora.
Okay.
I think that's how we're pronouncing it.
Sounds like something you say when you're drunk.
Balrora.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know if you saw that one. But
I think I watched the rudest city one, I think.
Yeah.
Because that rings a bell. The incest one is pretty
you got to watch that one.
Okay.
Because you know what happened was like we're trying to find the family and whatnot, because that's like storytelling. Like you have a goal.
Oh, no, I actually have watched that one. And then there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of people that felt offended by you trying to find this family.
Yeah.
They were very defensive of this family.
It's like, it was almost like they were protecting them.
Yeah.
No, because like,
I remember that one.
The old lady, right? She was showing us around. She's like, "Oh, I'll take you to the house, you know, come with me." And then she ends up just turning on us. And then she like tells all the locals, and then they're all after us, and we had to flee, and then the cops are calling us. And
yes, that's right. Yes, I remember that.
It was intense.
Was there any moment in that whole that experience in the town where you're like, fuck, probably shouldn't have started this. Was there any moment of actual nervousness and anxiety, or was part of it put on for the camera?
No, it was all like adrenaline, like you get excited.
Yeah.
But also because I watched so many movies, I'm like, bro, we're in like a town, everyone's against us. Like, are they going to like put us on crucifixes and just like burn us alive or something? But it was fun, but I was also bricking it a bit, you know, 'cause
Yeah,
like,
right.
I get really paranoid and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
nice.
you enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, far out. Okay, well, then that sort of takes me into my next question. How much of the content that gets produced online by people that are pushing a personal brand is authentic versus how much has to be put on for the camera?
It depends what you're trying to do, right? So if you're like an influencer, you might have to be more polarizing, especially like the live streamers like Neon and Speed. Live streaming, you're streaming for 8 hours, and that's like the most powerful form of content right now, live streaming. And they have to be like so energetic and polarizing. And I don't know how much of it are they putting on, or if that's actually their personality. But if you're building a personal brand, say you're an entrepreneur in business and you want to get like influence, basically, you want followers or you want sales and leads, you can be authentic, but now it's going more towards pop culture, stuff that you need to talk about to be relevant. So for example, it's like what's going on in the world right now. Iran, right?
Israel.
Yeah. And then you look at online real estate agents, brokers, plumbers, they're all, the ones that have a personal brand, they're all talking about it because you have to grab attention with what's trending, right? So then you grab attention. And what I say is when you know a video is going to get views, show your personality. Yeah. So you want to show your personality in a video you know is going to get views because it's getting more competitive to stand out online. So when you show your personality, people are going to like you. They're going to go back to your page, see what you do, follow you or buy from you.
Yeah, right.
Like there's all these tricks you have to do now to stand out online.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like it's a whole heap of 1%ers that are compounded. So just for example, that video that you did with Jamie that got 10 million views, going to Bundaberg and calling it Australia's most rudest town. Do you think you would have got 10 million views if that wasn't the name of the video?
No.
Okay.
Oh, the title's so important.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. How important would you say that would be? Let's use numbers. I don't know if you're a numbers guy. I'm more of a numbers guy. I like to sort of base my logic and decision making on figures. So if we didn't have the title of that video named what it was named, how many million views or how many views do you think it would have got comparing to 10 million?
But it could have got like 5,000.
Yeah, right. Far out.
Like it's that important because that title was strategic because the rudest town in Australia. So people from Australia want to watch it.
Yeah.
And because they're watching it, it's going to get a lot of views because they're all curious. And because they're watching it, it's going to be sent out to the rest of the world after that.
Yeah, I guess that's the first point.
Yeah.
That's the first point. You know how people say you never fall in love with the personality at first sight?
Yeah.
I guess it's something similar to that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. I feel like when we post any content online, we don't do a lot of YouTube content, but if I frame the title in a certain way, I feel like I'm clout chasing. I feel like and I don't want to connect myself to this sort of identity. And I don't know if it's an identity shift that I have to have because I have to play it purely strategic. Pat, this is what works. This is how you have to have the title versus stop feeling like you're clout chasing, you freaking weirdo. It's like, this is just how it has to be played. Is there a lot of hesitancy in the world when people post videos and choose certain titles because they don't want to attach to clout chasing or attach to certain identities? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs I work with always say, I don't want to seem like an influencer.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that's the one thing that they don't want to. But what they don't realize is that the influencer age is dying, and now it's founder-led personal brands that's going to be thriving because that's what's authentic. Is influencers, how do they get paid? They promote any business to get paid. So that's what's authentic about that. So now people who have their own personal brand, and the way I build personal brands, it's like it's around them, they're branches of them. So their lifestyle, their opinion on stuff, their business, all around them. So that's as authentic as you can get. And ultimately, regardless of what you're talking about, it's going to help your business. Because if you're getting views and attraction and people are starting to like you and then they see what you actually do and they follow what you do, they're going to know what your business is and then they're going to buy from you. They're going to buy from you rather than a competitor.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that does make sense. Now, what do you feel separates content that gets views from content that actually generates money and opportunities? Because we know there's different types of content out there. Like you said before, it depends what your intention is, depends what you want to make happen. There's people out there in the social media world that just want to clout chase and just get views. But then there's also a lot of other people, especially entrepreneurs and founders, that are approaching it in a strategic way. What do you feel is the difference between the two? How would you differentiate in terms of content that you post online?
Yeah, if you want to clout chase, show your tits. If you want to make money, give value, basically.
Even my tits?
Yeah, bro.
You reckon that will work?
Maybe, yeah.
Clipped yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I clipped yesterday.
Take your shirt off now.
No, I'm not going to do it. My mum watches this.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she's the only one comments
on
the reels usually.
That's right. You've got the king on your podcast now, so let's see how we go.
So clout chasing, don't show tits, but whatever. You're approaching it in a different.
Yeah, because like if you want to make money, say for example your product is let's say $5,000 a month, for example, your service. If you get like one lead and it closes from a video that got 2,000 views, which didn't go viral, like you should be happy with that. 2,000 views, but you made this amount of money.
Of course.
So it's not always about views. I always say to people, it's not about views. It depends what you need clarity, right? Like what do you want from your personal brand? Do you want to make money or do you want influence and followers so you can look cool in front of people? Or do you just want to walk through a business event and everyone knows your name and who you are? You know, it's like you need clarity first. Like what do you want from building your personal brand?
Yeah. And I guess there would be different strategies for each one of these approaches.
Yeah. All strategies would be custom to each person and their goals.
Yeah, right. And when it comes to business owners and founders that are playing in the social world and the personal branding world, what do you feel would be the most strategic approach that they would take? I know every character is different, but what's an approach that has substance that ticks the boxes for entrepreneurs in the personal branding world?
They just need to get known first. That's why I call my business Get Known. You just need to get known for something. As long as it's like it protects your brand, you're not known as a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like someone that actually is smart, has values, connected. Like for example, easiest way to build a personal brand is go start your own podcast and post it on TikTok and Instagram. Interview experts, interview people in your field. If they're giving a bunch of free value and you interview that many people and you can clip up like 30 clips in like one click using AI now and just flood your account, then people are going to start to get to know you. And then the more known you are, you don't have to be so strategic on how to go viral.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to be at, where people just want to watch you for you and listen to you for you.
I guess it becomes a snowball effect after that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And then from that point onwards, at what point does a person say, okay, baby, I've made it. Mama, I've made it. I'm famous now. At what point does someone say, okay, this is an appropriate level versus I'm just so hungry that I have to keep building and building and building and building? Is there a line where people draw and say, you know what, this is a good place for me to stay at in the social media world, in my personal branding, supporting my business? Or does that point then become like a drug to the person where it just becomes more and more and more? I want to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I don't think anyone wants to stop because the bigger you grow, the more opportunities you get. And like people don't expect, like you don't realize the people that are watching your videos and who reaches out to you. So it's exciting. It's like, oh, if I post this video, who's going to reach out now? Like some people get excited to go on a podcast, or you never know, you could be, someone will fly you overseas to do work for them. You know, like the opportunities are endless. And that's one part of it. That's the opportunities, but also like being influential and getting fame is exciting for some people as well. So obviously the more you post and the more views you get, the more influence you do grow at the same time. So it's like all these little things that add up, and then making money as well. So there's all these different channels that social media can do for you and building your personal brand. It's like, why should I stop if it got me here so far already?
Yeah. Give me a couple of stories, Nick. Give me a couple of stories where you were able to, whether it's now, whether it was in the past, except Jamie Zhu. Give me a couple of stories where you've jumped in, they were at this level, you've done your thing, they've done their thing, complementing what you bring to the table, and then it's transformed their business, transformed their brand, and then started the snowball effect to happen.
Let's start off with Samantha Campbell, right?
She's a local.
Do you know her?
Yes, of course I know Samantha.
Do you know her personally or you just know her videos?
No, I know her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, tell her I say hello.
Oh, I will do. So Samantha, she, when we started her account, she had 800 followers.
Is this for a business or for her personal account?
Her personal account.
Okay.
Um,
And she's got a strong character though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So I guess that will work faster.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she said to me she was 8 years on socials, and that's what she had, right? Like a bunch of videos, no views, and 800 followers. I just implemented the strategy I did for LA Donuts, like with the filming, the strategy, and the editing. And we filmed her the first day, and then got the edits back. She liked them and whatnot, posted it. First video got like 2 million views, second one 3 million, the other one like a couple million.
It's kidding.
So her first couple of videos got her views.
Yeah.
And she grew to 30K followers in 3 months.
Far
On
out.
TikTok, and she started to get recognized instantly as well.
Yeah, right.
But her strategy was so good because it was parallel storytelling, because we did her personal brand mixed with cleaning tips. So she was making money, but also people were booking her to go on Sunrise or speak at schools. So she got all the benefits straight away.
Yeah, right.
And she grew really fast.
Yeah.
Like I was with her filming our second session, and kids were asking for photos with her. And I'm like,
That's
wow, what have we done?
It's pretty sick. What about those videos got those numbers? Like millions of views is pretty substantial, man. What about those videos if you were to pull it apart?
So I said to Samantha, I said, what is one thing that homeowners have trouble with cleaning? And she said, the shower screen. I was like, all right, cool. Show me how you clean the shower screen, you know? I was like, say this hook. So a hook to grab attention in the first 3 seconds, which was her verbal hook, what she said. Then the visual hook, which was the shower screen, which was really dirty. And then we had like a text box hook on the screen. So 3 different hooks to grab attention 3 different ways. Then she showed us her expertise. We filmed it engagingly, so it wasn't boring. So us always moving the camera in a way that kept attention. Because if you just keep the camera on you, like just straight,
Comes boring.
it's boring, right? And then the editing, we had like a nice fast song in the background to keep people's attention spans going. Ended unexpectedly. And yeah, people went back to her profile, link in bio. Oh, these are her products. Bang, buy them.
Yeah, right.
And then they look at all her other videos and they know what she's like. They know she's from Claymore.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, oh, I resonate with her story. I'm going to follow her. And that's how you build like a little cult following.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, right. Okay. And what do you think the biggest mistakes business owners make when they're trying to build a personal brand online?
I think they give up too soon, too early. Like, it's so competitive. Like, you're going against people who post 10 times a day who have been posting for years. Like, Instagram is one of the main places where you want to grow, but it does take the longest. I see, like, in their forum, they said you have to be posting minimum 10 times a month for the algorithm to even, consider you, right? And that's a consideration. And then you need to be consistent for like months, like even years. So yeah, the biggest thing I see with them is they give up too soon. Like if you could actually see the competition, like everyone new is getting on social media every day.
Yeah.
And then the people who've been on it for years are like hogging all the views essentially as well.
It's hogging attention. People's attention spans. People's attention spans is next to nothing right now.
Yeah.
I guess just because of how, I don't know, ruined we've become. I don't know. But constantly fighting against that, knowing that that's a factor that comes into play. I feel like I can't help but have to clout chase if I want to attract these followers unless I'm posting in a certain way. So
Cloud chasing is
just for someone who doesn't know what clout chasing is, what is clout chasing?
Cloud chasing is like when you like hang around someone who's famous and you try and get in their videos and you use them basically to get fame.
Is that what clout chasing is?
That's what cloud chasing is.
I feel like a moron right now because I actually thought it
yeah.
Might edit this out now. But I felt like clout chasing was just creating cheap approaches to grabbing people's attention. Just doing something stupid. Like Jamie Zhu, Jamie Zhu, how he first got, like he started screaming at the Wimbledon, moaning in the Wimbledon thing. I thought something like that was clout chasing. That's not.
You could say it's a form of it, but it's just everyone grabbing attention.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do nowadays.
Well, here I am, amateur, just showing what I actually know about this world. So fighting for people's attention online, I guess now if we're approaching it a bit strategically, instead of having to fight for people's attention with doing stupid shit in cheap forms of content online, if we start getting a videographer or involving personal branding specialists, the little hooks and the tips and tricks that keep people's attention span on it is something as simple as just having the camera moving from side to side. just keeping someone alert instead of just, this is just one little 1%er that gets added on. And then there's all these other things as well.
That's to grab. So that's to keep attention is like the camera movements. And then to get attention is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how you have to put it down. Grab attention, then keep attention.
Okay. And keep attention, how would you say a person would work in keeping attention in a video?
So storytelling is a real big one right now. So if you can tell really great stories that people are interested in, then you can have your video to go as long as 5 minutes online, on short form. Because normally what we aim for is like 30 to 45 second videos. But if there's storytelling in it and we think it's strong enough, we'll push it out. So for example, I say 4 minutes because one of our clients, they got scammed in Vietnam with their Airbnb. And me and the editor were working on it. And I was like, bro, we've got to get this to like 40 seconds. And he's like, there's no way. And I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, there's no way. I was like, bro, just go to 4 minutes and let's just post it. It's pretty strong, the story. I think people will watch it. As I was posting it for the client, it said, Instagram's not going to show this to new viewers because it's over 3 minutes. So I was like, whatever, bro.
Sorry, Instagram won't show it because it's not the right amount of length as a reel or just any content?
No. It just said it's too long.
Okay.
So people we're not going to send it to new people.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I was like, whatever. Posted it, ended up getting 100K views and went to new audiences. So if you have a video that people like and they're watching it, especially if people are watching a 4-minute video to the end or like at least like 50%, then it's going to get pushed regardless.
Well, it was around keeping people's attention on video.
Yeah. So storytelling is a good way. But then also, this is one that we really like to do. It's like, and this is what a lot of people can do. For example, go to where you grew up. Let's use Samantha as an example. We took it to Claymore, right? So people, if you're swiping on TikTok and you swipe and you see Claymore, like a familiar area or Claymore in the text, and you know Claymore or you're from there, you're going to be like, oh, let me watch this. I know this area. And then you watch it and it's showing nostalgia and you're showing the area you're from. And then, this is what I get a lot of clients to do is like talk about the shops that's here, talk about the memories back in the 80s, 90s, whatever, and then bang, show your personality.
Yeah, right.
Relate it back to you so people like you as well. And those videos normally keep attention the whole time.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's interesting because there's always going to be that human element that wants to be able to connect with another human and their authenticity as a person, because I feel like that's also another element to what keeps people's attention online and engaged. It's seeing another person's authenticity and the real side of them, as opposed to how much fake shit we see online. Look, you've helped people look confident and powerful on camera. Now, I know Samantha obviously has a strong character and she's a confident person, but just in general, can confidence in camera actually be learned, or do some people naturally have it?
Yeah, some people definitely naturally have it, but it can be learned as well. Because think about it, a lot of business owners never thought they would have to be an influencer, right? So this is how my sales calls go all the time. We're not on social media, but we know we need to be on it. So that's why we're here. So these are people who have never been on camera before. So I've trained up my whole team, like all the videographers, all the content creators. I said, I train them how to make the client feel comfortable on camera and how to bring out their personality. So yeah, maybe the first couple of filming sessions, they're nervous, but once they see the edit, they're like, oh, they have more confidence because they're like, wow, you cut all the ums and ers and it's so polished. And then that brings confidence in them as well. And for example, if you have a videographer or content creator, if they're filming you and they give you like a weird look when you make a mistake or make you feel uncomfortable, that's going to kill your confidence. So that's why it's like we're always reassuring the client when they're on camera, like smile at them, nod to say it's okay, help them,
Yeah.
You can't have a dickhead just give you a dirty because you made a mistake, That would throw me off.
Oh man, I have so many stories of some videographers in the past that have just done that to me, and I'm thinking to myself, brother, you're not helping this situation.
Imagine
you get on the other side and I'll fucking do it to you.
Exactly. Imagine while you're asking me questions right now, I'm just like, give me these looks like, what are you asking, bro?
Oh, bro, that's happened to me so many times. And then it's like, how do I come back from that, bro? Like,
it's so.
You've been giving me awkward looks the last 2 minutes I've been trying to record this.
Well, they're licking their lips at you and they're like,
it's only happened 3 times.
We'll make it a 4th time.
God. All right, man. I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting a lot of value. Now, there was something you said to me before that caught my attention. This was off camera.
Yeah.
This was right before we started the podcast. Now, we have in our business, we have a heap of talent, whether they're in Australia, in the office or offshore. And they support different parts of the business in their own expertise and in their ways. Now, a few of them are in the Philippines. One of them is for our marketing. And this guy's been a champion. He's been with us for quite some time. But I just found out now that when content gets posted from the Philippines, even if they're on a VPN, the engagement isn't on the same level as if it was posted in Australia. Can you elaborate on that? Because that blew my freaking brain.
Yeah, so the platforms are so invasive, right? Remember when TikTok first came out and there was all these videos about these software engineers saying how invasive this technology really is? Like, it reads your SIM cards, it looks at all your photos, where your photos were taken, your IP address, everything. So what we've found is when people post from overseas, even if it's with a VPN, the algorithms know. So it sends, say for example, it's a video for an Australian client, but it's posted in the Philippines. It's going to push it to the Philippines, and it might even push it to Australia in the Philippines, and the algorithm doesn't know what's going on, and then it just kills your whole account, kills the video's reach, and then it'll kill your account if that's where you're posting mainly. It even gets to a point where you might even get 0 views, especially on TikTok, because it just freaks out the algorithm, doesn't know where to send the video. So that's why when we post our clients in our business, we have someone doing it from one of the work phones. So say we're posting at 5 p.m., someone is physically posting at 5 p.m. on the ground. And if you use third-party scheduling tools, it's going to kill the reach as well.
Yeah, right. Third-party scheduling. We used a couple in the past. I know we use now Meta Business Suites, but you also said that still affects engagement sometimes.
Meta Business Suites is fine if you use it in Australia.
In Australia still, so the same concept.
Yeah, but if you use it in the Philippines, no.
Yeah, right. Now, if the content gets created in the Philippines, the copy gets created in the Philippines, and then it gets sent over to someone in Australia just to click post, I guess that's a decent workaround. That's
fine. Yeah, that's what we do with some of our clients. They have a Filipino team that we plug in with. We coach them, and then we also do content for them, like how do you edit, and then we'll post it for them. So that's fine. That works well.
Yeah, right. And let's talk numbers again. How much engagement would get affected by if it's being posted by the Philippines or off a VPN or off a scheduling tool compared to if it got posted?
Philippines would be like a 90% would kill the engagement.
You're kidding. So
it's like overboard.
Looking at numbers. So if right now I had a video that had 500 views, a reel that had 500 views, because it was posted in the Philippines, if it was posted in Australia, would you say it would be another times 5?
Yeah, obviously, if the video is good.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's say it's an 8 out of 10 video. It gets decent engagement. We hit 500 views just based on it being posted or whatever it is. Would you say there's a significant notice? I'm not going to hold you to shit, man. But would there be a significant difference?
100%, bro.
Yeah, really.
It's a no-brainer. And that's why I said to you, when the cameras are off, that's the first thing you got to change for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Post it locally in Australia.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, that's the first I've ever heard of that, and I can only imagine a lot of people. Is that known knowledge?
I don't. In my head, it is.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't know social media. A lot of people think there's a guide to social media, and they tell you what works and what doesn't work, and how the algorithm works. But bro, you have to figure it out yourself. When I started the business, it's all of it is data and patterns that you have to analyze. And you look at people online, like the gurus, social media gurus. They're just telling you from their experience and what they've seen. There's no playbook on how all this shit works.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess that's true. You got to figure it out for yourself, what works, and then see what you can do with that knowledge in someone else's business.
Yeah.
Do you think attention is the most valuable currency in business right now?
Yeah, 100%. We haven't even scratched the surface of personal brands and building attention, especially in Australia. It's so new to us, building personal brands. The Americans have been doing it for years, right? You think of Elon Musk, you think of Tesla, you think of Steve Jobs, you think of Apple. So they've been doing it for years, and only now normal Australian business owners are jumping on it.
Yeah.
And the ones who have been doing it for years, look where they are because of attention. Spanian, for example, he has influence. He has so much influence and attention where he was able to have his kebab shop lines down the street just for people to try his kebabs. Because he won the game of attention from a long time ago, and there's not much competition in Australia either.
And then he worked it into his business. He worked it and fed his business that way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a growing trend in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. Maybe I'd probably say 5 to 7 years. I'd say maybe around the 7-year mark, people, maybe high level business people started to dip their toes in the personal branding space. But more recently, within the 3 to 5 year range, a lot more of business owners started to get a bit more curious. And now it's just a known thing where if you want to build and drive opportunity for your business, personal branding is probably the most strategic way to approach it.
Yeah. Because even like if you were to build your business brand, it's a lot harder to build trust and to get sales doing it straight from a business, because people buy from people, not businesses now. Because if you go to a personal brand page and it's not all about their business, it's about them as well, you're removing the touch points before a consumer makes a purchasing decision. Say, for example, they go see a video where you grew up. They're like, oh, this is where he grew up. This is what he's like. Then they watch another video of you with your family, for example. They're like, oh, he's a family man. He treats his family right. Removes another touch point before they make a purchasing decision. For a business, all you see is their business content. So how can you build trust for that business? You don't even know the people behind it, or what they like, or what their personality is.
Yeah. Do you were saying something now that triggered me. I just got triggered inside. I noticed, and I'll elaborate more into it. You were saying something where people know this person and they can see different parts of his life, and then they see content that he's a family man now. I feel like when people start to post things around their life to create that perception, it feels inauthentic to me. It feels like it's fake, because in reality, we know that people only post the best versions of themselves on socials. And I personally don't connect with them. I had this conversation with a friend of mine who understands the personal branding space, who's doing a very good job of it. He's had it support his business, and it goes back and forth. His business supports the personal branding. And he mentioned that it's just perception and strategy. It's like, take the emotion out of it. I know who I am as a person. I know what sort of person I am. I know what values I bring to the table. But the game is just played with creating the perception around who you are, because that's what people see. And if you're using that as a strategy to build the opportunity in your life and in your business and have it support your business, then why can't you just treat it as an unemotional strategy? And that's when it got me thinking, you know what, maybe it's not an authenticity conversation. It's more about, this is just how the game is played, or this is just how the game needs to be played. And that started to shift my mind around that world. Would you say other business owners have made that connection? Sorry, man, I feel like I loaded it up.
That was a loaded one.
Yeah. But, well, look, to me, it was a big penny dropping moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I started to play a bit more in this space, get a bit more curious about it and all that sort of stuff. But would you feel like the business owners that have started to play more in the personal branding space are looking at it from that point of view, where they've compartmentalized it, they've put it in a box and just said, this is how I have to be as a strategy to support my business? Or it's like, I'm letting this consume who I'm going to be?
I think it's different for everyone, bro. Like, yeah, it's because not that many people are strategic to think like that. But then also, people in their strategies is to be authentic in a way where they share their issues, like family issues or business issues. Like, that's how some people combat that as well.
Yeah,
is when they're just being vulnerable. And we do a lot of that with our clients, like be vulnerable. Some people don't want to show their families, but we get them to mention them subtly as well. So like, for example, a video where it's like, oh, the first time I became a dad, what it was like. So content like that, and that's vulnerable and that's authentic. And you can hear it in their voices if it's just like a talking head piece, rather than showing the ideal family life on the couch, happy with the dog and whatnot.
Yeah. I feel more people are becoming more and more okay with the idea of showing their vulnerable state online.
To be fair, I force a lot of my clients to do it. Not force, like I tell them to do it and they're like, yeah, sweet. But I would never, like, I would never do it. Like, I don't like getting vulnerable, and I don't need to. Like, my character online is cocky and confident, Like, there's no way I'm going to share any
Yeah.
losses. It's not me.
You know what, man? In saying that, your character online is cocky and confident. Completely different. I'm not saying you're not confident,
Yeah.
but definitely not cocky. Very, very, very humble approach. Very not softly spoken,
No.
but certain.
Yeah.
And just a kickback, laid back sort of guy. There's no cockiness whatsoever, which is interesting in its own form because it's like that the perception some people might have for this person because based on what they've seen online is this sort of way. So if they're ever seen in the street, that's how they might go up to this person or approach a person. But in reality, it's like the perception is one thing and then a person's real nature is another.
I'm just a little sweetheart in person.
You are, man. Yes, you are. Yes.
Because you know what? I've said this on another podcast. Imagine me just being like how I am now, humble and like, quiet spoken online. No one's going to listen, bro. And like cameras off, I am a bit of a smart ass. Like when you're with your friends and whatnot, and I was a smart ass in school. I was like, let me just put that on steroids on camera, to grab attention. It is my personality, but I'm not going to be like that to people, like I'm
not always extreme.
Yeah, I'm not always extreme. Yeah. I can put it on for the camera. I can do it in person as well.
Yeah.
But I find it funny, but I just laugh at my own jokes. Like there was one I was telling my brother, because I always get in trouble for content I post because I'm always unhinged. And I was saying to my brother the other day, I was like, oh, let's go back to our old primary school and I'll just call out all the teachers we hated, And then I was like, no, that's too overboard. Still thinking about it. Like, if something clicks in me, I might go and do it.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. In saying that, how'd you meet Ronaldinho?
So they reached out. They wanted to work with the Content King, obviously. They were filming a documentary. So he was playing against Tim Cahill in like a charity match. And I don't know how they found me, but I think they just wanted the best.
Man, It's talking about how not cocky you were, but I only reason why I shifted to this conversation because I watched a video of you creating like your own little lanyard and sneaking your way in. Am I looking at something different? Am I thinking about something completely different?
That's correct. So I already got the gig. I was working with him and whatnot.
Yeah.
And my best content ideas come when I'm on the spot. So that video was actually filmed in reverse. So we're at the press conference where Channel 9 and Channel 10 were filming and doing the interviews. And I was like, all right, let me go get a photo with him. Because even though I was working with him, like the security and you can't be too much around them, like everyone's just trying to swarm him. So you just got to kick back. And I ended up getting that photo with him, the one you see in the end of the video. That was the first thing I shot. So then after that, I went to the front of the crown and then I said, I'm going to sneak into the crown and get a photo with Ronaldinho. And then I've just filmed the process, which was not like it was all fake.
Yeah.
Right? Like acting like I snuck in, but I already had the lanyard,
You fooled me.
Yeah.
You fooled me bad.
Yeah. And then it's a strategic video because at the end of the video, I was like, oh, by the way, I didn't actually sneak in. I'm actually working with him, And then I did a call to action at the end so people, so I could get leads. And it was like a really good storytelling and credibility piece, lead magnet, you could say. All in one.
How long would a video like that take from conception, from creativity, from start to finish, till it's ready to be posted online? Let's say you're working with a client.
Yeah.
And you wanted to come up with a creative strategy. You wanted to come up with something. What would that process look like?
For like one video or for like their whole strategy?
Let's say one video.
One video.
Well, you know what? I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, sorry.
If it's easier to go strategy.
I should probably say strategy. So normally what happens is, let's say customer journey, they sign up. Cool. First thing is let's do your onboarding call, which is like maybe an hour to 2 hours with me. And I'm learning about your whole business, your whole life, like everything about you. Then from there, I'm able to create a content strategy with their brand pillars. Cool. Like what's the goal? Where do you want to be in 12 months? What's the goal for your personal brand? What do you want to achieve? What's the stuff that you don't want to sell online, the stuff that you do want to get out, right? So then we've got our playbook, which is the strategy. And then clients look at it. If they're happy with it, cool, let's go ahead. If they're not, we adjust it, right? Then from there, we come up with their content ideas. We go film it. Filming, let's say one video takes you like 5 minutes to film, for example.
Yep.
You can get that over to an editor instantly and it'll take them like 30 minutes to edit and then you post it. So it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like say, for example, you want to film a video right now and you have the idea. I'll film it in 5 minutes for you. I'll send it to my team, get it back in 30 minutes, have it posted tonight.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty, we're not like, when you know what you're doing, you can get it.
Yeah. And you're the content king. Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Right.
Man, there used to be times in my life, in my business journey when I started playing around with marketing, where I hated being in front of the camera. I absolutely hated it, but I knew how important it was. And I knew it was a journey that I had to get myself more comfortable with. And it's like, Pat, this is a temporary feeling. One day you'll be comfortable with it. And now I actually really enjoy it. I find it fun. But the fun element is bridging the gap between like connecting creativity, humor, and value. So those ideas don't come to me all the time. But when they do, I enjoy the whole process. Now, when you're building a brand, when you're building a personal brand, is it a constant mix of fun, humor, value?
Yeah, 100%. When working with a client or like say doing your own personal brand.
The question really would be around if you would focus, what would you focus on if you had to grow a business from zero today using only social media?
First things first, you have to link a face to it. Like, and that might seem silly to some people, but a lot of people are still like just putting photos up of their products, for example. Like, say they're electrician and they're having photos of what do you call these things?
Those things, I guess, would be electrical apparatus. There's power points, there's circuit breakers, there's lights, there's wires, there's a whole heap of things there.
Yeah, say for example, they'll just post photos of circuit breakers and just a photo and then a video just recording it. It's like, okay, cool. Like, what do you want? Like, there's no substance to it. So say you're an electrician, I would get someone to follow you and you're speaking on camera and you're showing you doing an install. And then at the end, you're like, oh, if you need new lights, shoot me a message, right? As simple as that. But a lot of people still think it's like, oh, you can post a photo, your grid needs to look aesthetic and nice to get work in. But no, I would go straight down the reels strategy, post all reels, showcase what you do for work, and then do your call to action at the end.
Yeah, right. Instead of an electrician, because right now it's a bit biased. As an accountant is a very boring job.
Mm-hmm.
How can you find substance in what an accountant does?
Just grab attention, right? Say something like, for your hook, this is how you don't pay tax in Australia.
Okay.
That's your hook. And then just give them a bunch of free value.
Yeah.
Right? Just grab attention however you can. Talk about fuel prices, talk about the war, how it's going to affect you, stuff like that.
Yeah. Nick, 5 years from now, what do you think the future of media creators and personal branding actually looks like?
I think people who aren't on social media are just going to be left behind. Like, seriously, if you're not on there, it's pretty scary, to be honest, if you actually think about it. Like, if you're not on there, or if you haven't already started building now, you're going to be left behind and it's going to be too hard to catch up. There'll be so many people on there. And it's going to be a lot. Business owners and founders are going to all seem like influencers. The stuff that they're going to need to do to grab attention, everyone's just going to seem like an influencer. But you do what you're going to have to do. You're going to be so reliant on social media to get work in and to stand out. So that's as much as I've thought about it so far.
Do you think that will be across all industries?
I'm sure there's some industries out there that will never need marketing. On the top of my head, I can't really think about any, but like the ones that, let's say for example, they print stickers on boxes for like PlayStations, for example.
Yeah, of course.
Like stuff like industries like that probably wouldn't get affected.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay, and what about the people that turn around and say, well, I don't use social media. I don't go on social media. Do you feel like there's any sort of substance to justifying that claim around you trying to drive socials? Like when you're hearing people, I don't use socials, I don't get on socials, whatever it is. Do you think there's a lot of people that that will affect?
Well, the people like that, they're not business owners, most of them, right, that say that. And they're probably not even going to need to engage in like a service that would be promoted on social media anyway. That's how I look at it. Because it's like, because we both run businesses, yeah, so we have that business lens on, but we forget that there's people who do 9 to 5s, never touch social media at all, never buy anything online at all. But yeah.
And across the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, would you be a strong believer in posting across all platforms or specific platforms? Would you post across all of them all at the same time? Is there certain content that you'd have for different platforms?
So what we do with our short form content, we post it on all platforms. Biggest thing is if you have time and money to spend on YouTube, like get on that.
Yeah, right.
Like if you can do the Alex Hormozy stuff about your own business, do it. But the thing is, it is a long-term game. it would be a perfect opportunity in Australia now to get on it, since there's not that many people doing it on YouTube, because it's like a 5-year game before you start getting traction on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
But as we spoke about earlier, the influence you get on there, especially if it's business content you're doing, the leads are like super hot as well, like hotter than social media leads.
Yeah, that's true. And you get the cult following, like you said.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Nick, I can have this conversation for ages, man. Is there anywhere you wanted to go? Is there any conversations you wanted to have? Is there any pointers, bits of value you wanted to add in before we start wrapping it up?
I'll just say, if you're not on socials, get on socials. You work with the Content King, shoot me a message.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Look, we end every episode with this one question we present to every guest. If you were to bring 3 people to dinner, who would these 3 people be and why? Before you answer your question, these 3 people can be anyone from your current world, anyone who's currently alive, or anyone in the history of humanity.
What a question. That's such a good question.
Thank you, man. I came up with it
Wow.
myself.
Dinner. Jesus.
Yep.
Steve Jobs. And Hitler.
Man, we get Jesus all the time, yeah? The first time I heard someone say Hitler, I was thrown off. And now I'm hearing it for the second time and it's making me question. The first time someone said it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. When he's like, man, it's nothing political. It's more about, I wanted to hear how he was able to influence such a large majority. I go, okay, well, it's a different perspective and I can understand that. Hopefully this was not political or racial.
No, not political as well at all. I was thinking like, why did you do it and how did you do it, basically?
Okay. Yeah, right.
It's all curiosity, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't break bread with him, but like, well, just tell me, bro.
Sit over there.
Yeah.
While me and Jesus and Steve Jobs hang out. Yeah, right. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I was really looking forward to a conversation like this for a long time, and I can only imagine how many business owners and people playing in that personal branding or business branding space could grab some value out of this. So thank you, my man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro. Legend.
All right. Enjoy, guys. Hopefully you grab some sort of value out of this conversation. We'll see you guys on the next one.